What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become apprised whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. It's the penultimate. Yes, for the time being, the penultimate MLB Lindy's of the year. I know that sounds crazy to you, but here's the thing. I'm going to be posting MLB plays constantly in that marketplace. It's not going anywhere in my life because I love betting it, but I can't do the videos simultaneously while also doing NFL showdown videos, including the week one, just like I did last year where I had the video where I just did every game at once. Now we're going to be able to break them up and be able to talk about them a little bit more in depth because, hey, news happens, injury news happens, and I want to keep you apprised of NFL because I know more people are interested in that. However, I love my MLB and I'm still going to be posting it. So if you guys want to sign up using promo code Lindy50, yes, check it out on the screen here. Promo code Lindy50, 50% off your first week or month there in the premium Discord. I have my own Discord. That's me. That's my dog hanging out with me, Duke. He's a lovely guy. It's way too damn hot here in the desert. But anyway, daily picks and premium Discord OS Marketplace is officially live. Tons of great cappers, tons of great handicappers, that is. I don't really like the cappers, right? I don't know. I just try to make money betting sports. If you do too, and you trust me after the home run props that absolutely slammed the entire year, or I don't know, stuff like Toronto and Philly, even though they put up 5 runs in the first 2 innings, that under comes through pretty easily. That felt pretty good on Wednesday, but let's talk a little baseball, daily picks, and premium Discord. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere because I'm a nice guy for life. Sign up down at the link below. Alrighty, we're done with that. And then, of course, Stochastic we'll talk about a little bit later. 1 week for $1. That's The Sims. That's all the great stuff over in the fantasy community. Our brother, sister, whatever you want to call it. They're one and the same. I said it yesterday. Odd Chopper and Stochastic. We'll talk about it later. But $1 if you guys want to sign up using code KICKOFF. All right. Enough business here on the front end. Let's talk 9 games here on Thursday that is starting, like, I don't know, 10 minutes after the football game starts. There's 1 baseball game. But for the most part, they're avoiding NFL because they should. Producer Jacob, let's get to the picks. Yeah, there's vomit on his sweater already. Spencer Arrighetti got absolutely annihilated. A lot of people ask me about that ladder. I was okay with the over a 5.5. I had a very, very small play on it. I didn't end up posting it in the premium Discord purely because it kept moving in like weird directions. And when I see some weird line movement on a prop like that, I start to get a little apprehensive. And there was really nothing. I mean, the wind was slightly in and he just got bludgeoned. He's not as good as what he's pitched of late. He's somewhere in the middle, but did not even get out of the first inning. I really have no words for it. Hopefully you didn't fire too much there. Again, the ladders, when we talk about them, I then look at them the next day. If you ask me, well, I'll tell you. And obviously, if you're in the Discord, you did not see a ladder getting posted there. You saw a Padres ladder 2 days ago that got annihilated. And then you saw me kind of be a coward, the likes of which the world's never seen before. But we're not going to be laddering Hunter Brown at all. He's a really, really good pitcher. But I'm assuming these numbers as they open based on his last couple of starts, it's not going to look all that appealing here in the strikeout department, even against Cincinnati. We know those strikeouts have been showing up here, but something I did point out was some of these lefties don't have the highest strikeout rate on the Cincinnati side of things, and it makes it a little bit difficult to get after some of those K props. I repeat, Jake Fraley, 20.3% K rate. You got Ahmed Rosario is now a Cincinnati Red, 18.9%. I know he's a righty, but whatever. Just wanted to throw that out there. And then Tyler Stevenson, not a huge strikeout bat. Ellie De La Cruz, right around 30%. He's usually higher up in that order, but anyway, he might start to get limited as we get to the end of this season. As for this Louder character, he's had all of 1 start here at the big league level, and working through some of his mix, I don't think he's that bad, but the big problem I have is that he hasn't had a lot of experience here at the big league level. He was down in the minors, AAA, meandering around. He had 1 start in AAA, but he's primarily been just in AA ball. Really hard to go up against a Houston team that, at least at the top of this lineup, is loaded with the likes of Alvarez and Altuve. And hey, they got half the night off because they were down infinity and beyond runs. So looking at the board for this one, though, I've kind of got some interest in some props that I think might show up. I think there's a couple of spots that we could potentially be firing up. But as for right now, I just like the Houston side because this Louder fellow, again, AA, and you get the ace of Hunter Brown out here, and I get plus money on the run line. Seems pretty simple to me. Next up, Pablo Lopez, 4 kids that I got to take all of that ass to showbiz, going up against Taj Bradley, and Taj Bradley, woof. And here's the thing. I get Minnesota. They've been disappointing, the likes of which Minnesotans are very, very used to. Hi. Both my parents are Minnesotans. I'm technically South Dakotan, but you know, it is what it is. I love Minnesota sports, and it absolutely needs to stop. Not a Golden Gopher fan, though. They're terrible. They're pretty much everything. So are Minnesota sports in general. But anyway, Pablo Lopez, he's been very unlucky this season. I bring it up all the time. One of the better expected ERAs. And then a 4.05 ERA, 1.12 whip. Something doesn't add up. But we're starting to see these outings get strung together with tons of ground balls. 16 ground balls against Toronto and a 2-0 W for the Twinkies. They needed it a week ago. Feels like that's the last time we won a game. But 7 2/3, no earned. In fact, no earned in his 3 straight, and now he gets to take on a Tampa Bay team at a good ballpark for pitching. We know there's a lot of strikeouts to be had, and Taj Bradley has been trashola. God, I'm going to get absolutely burned by this, aren't I? Minus 134 is just ridiculous. This is going to close closer to minus 145, probably north of it, but I get it. The Twins haven't been playing well, and they're trying to do a lot of stuff. We played Royce Lewis at second base today. We were down 8-0 too. That was fun. Did I mention Minnesota sports? Yeah. 8-4, just complete terribleness as we go to the ninth. But anyway, I'm looking at Minnesota money line. I really like it. Don't really like a lot here. Brian Wu, he's definitely good. Don't get me wrong, but this is definitely priced minus 145, minus 150. And the guy I think ends up getting the ball here on the Oakland side, Joey Estes. He's been decent, 1.11 whip. That's not nothing. And we have a pretty decent sample size on him. He's been pitching all the live long day, 19 starts now, 20 games appeared for these Oakland Athletics. And I mean, 1.11 whip, you're getting shit done at the big league level if you're throwing that together. Again, oh, we should keep talking. Anyway, I don't really have a ton that I like about this one. I think Joey Estes is just good enough. The Seattle team against righties is problematic. Under 7.5, just going to be a lean. Next up, Arizona at San Francisco. That's what we got on tap here. Merrill Kelly and Blake Snell, and wouldn't you know it, this one looks mighty tasty. And in fact, 7.5 was the opening number at FanDuel. However, it is vigged to minus 122. I would rather tap this thing at minus 105. I should probably use different vernacular. I would rather respectfully and make sure that I had consent to take the under of 7 at minus 105 or better. That's more in line with my core values. Merrill Kelly, Blake Snell, both pitching pretty well. Blake Snell is just absolutely unhittable, ridiculous, and I get Arizona has been awesome, and I get this is an afternoon game, 12:45 local time there for San Francisco. But Merrill Kelly, he is pretty darn good himself. We've had Michael Conforto scratched, and then Matt Chapman scratched on Wednesday. Are we going to get this full lineup together? And I get it. Merrill Kelly's given up 6, 4, and 4 earned runs, but I'm calling this lean light because I would like to take advantage. No, better vernacular again. I would like to be very polite and take this under of 7 if it drops inside minus 105 tomorrow, rather than lay minus 122 at 7.5. That was well done. Ranger Suarez and Adam Oller up next, and this is kind of an interesting one to me. Ranger Suarez, this is a great ballpark to be pitching in. It's a great lineup to be facing. I get Miami and Xavier Edwards, and he doesn't have any hard hit, but he is fast as all hell on the other side of this one. But outside of that, Jake Berger, unless Connor Norby takes 1 yard. Jonah Bride from time to time. Derek Hill's been okay. I don't know. It's still not like a high caliber offense. Let's be dead serious about that. They went to Coors Field one time, come back, and then all of a sudden, everybody thinks they're a pretty good offense again. And I know we've seen some overs here in Miami. A lot of that has to do with the lack of bullpens that have been showing up there, including Miami's. But Adam Oller's been all right in his 3 starts here. I don't think this is one I want to go out of my way to go pick on anything or anyone. And usually when I see stuff like that, I like unders. Under of 8. I get that it's hit at like over a 70% clip over the last month as far as overs in this ballpark. I don't really care. It's still a pitcher's park. It's still going to have the roof closed. It's still going to have all of this madness where, I get it. The Phillies, they're instigating offense with Kyle Schwarber and Kyle Schwarber alone. 4-2. I wasn't scared of the under in Toronto. Now they travel to Miami. Toronto's up there. Miami's down there. It's a little bit of travel. Under. How about this goodness? $1 for a week 1 access over at Stokastic. Yes, go to the link below. STOKASTIC. Eric, what is this? Well, Daily Fantasy Friends, Daily Fantasy Sports. We have all of the goodness for DraftKings and FanDuel in the fantasy sports realm. We have massive contests, Millie Makers. $5, you can win $1 million playing in that Millie Maker by putting together fantasy lineups. Great opportunity, and obviously I've been doing this for a long, long time, 8, 9, 10 years now at this point that I've been playing daily fantasy sports. But as far as, getting yourself upside, there is nothing better than firing up all of that goodness there for week 1 over on DraftKings. FanDuel, fantastic too. A couple changes to their scoring to be aware of. But if you guys want to check it out, $1 for week 1 access. That is a ridiculous deal. You can cancel before Tuesday. You can do whatever you would like, friends. But Tuesday, that's no football going on Tuesday. So you would get this for Thursday and Friday because there's football Friday and Sunday and Monday. Great opportunity to utilize all of our data and tools at stokastic.com. Come check it out. See what all the hype's about down at the link below. Alrighty, y'all, back to the picks. Jake Irvin and Luis Ortiz up next, and kind of a quick analysis. I hate it. I hate everything about this game. It's perfectly efficient. Usually when I say I hate a game, it doesn't mean that it's like I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm actually not looking forward to anything here other than just seeing what Dylan Cruz and James Wood continue to do. And then will O'Neal Cruz just bash a baseball into the sun off of Jake Irvin? Looks like it's decent enough hitting conditions there in Pittsburgh for tomorrow, but what are we doing here? Thank God it's football season. Thank God it's football season. Colorado, Atlanta up next. Austin Gomber and Reynaldo Lopez. Massive, massive spread here. And here's the thing. You got to tell me. You got to just tell me what we're looking at here, because I wasn't afraid of that over. And I did have a lot of people that I was talking through, and I kind of felt bad because it was like, well, do you want to use your up 2 promo on DraftKings to utilize against Baltimore with the White Sox, or do you want to go towards Colorado against Atlanta? And I thought, we would see enough given up. We saw 2 earned early there by Mr. Morton. Felt like it was still the right side of it. Didn't end up on the money line myself. Talked through that process. Didn't end up having to post anything because, again, I didn't like the money line from that perspective. But from an up 2 promo perspective, I thought it made sense. So again, working on modeling out some of that, because an up 2 promo is very different from just betting something money line where it's 9 innings or a first 5. I mean, we are looking for a team that has upside to go up 2-0 in a first inning, that has upside to get up early because, you're still over a 2-1 dog in a spot like this. And obviously the White Sox went completely nutty there in the early stages against Baltimore. And, well, they're probably going to win that game outright. I haven't even looked at what the score was here because I quit looking at it. Oh, yeah. 6-1 in the freaking 9th inning. Unreal. But Austin Gomber and Reynaldo Lopez here in this one. I am interested in the Colorado money line, but here's the thing. Publicly backed team. We saw a little bit of line movement going towards Atlanta. If they end up covering this game especially, I think we see the exact same thing. So I'm going to wait. I want better than plus 235. If I get better than plus 235, I get it's Austin Gomber. He's not very good, but it's baseball. High variance outcomes. And Reynaldo Lopez has been far but bulletproof. Definitely somebody with his xFIP and everything else across the board. We're going to expect some negative regression on a 2 ERA. With a 1.17 whip. We just have to see worse than a 2 ERA. And Colorado, I know it's out of Coors as well, but it's a price and probability thing. Colorado money line, I might invest in tomorrow. Let's leave you with some dongs, shall we? Don't clip that, producer Jacob. But we got Kakanowicz. Talking more Kakanowiches and dongs, and my lord. I'm almost done. I promise. That's what I am. Anyway, Cody Bradford, we expect him to be pitching here to start off. But we're now starting to see some really strange stuff from Texas. Obviously, they won a World Series last year, so we're going to pump the brakes there. There's about 30 teams in baseball, and there's only one team that wins at the end of the year. It's a hard thing to accomplish. It's the same thing that it's like, hey, in the NFL, you can invest and you can win. You put yourself in that position. But in baseball, with the expanded playoffs, and because how, the variability, we've seen so many teams that went from obscurity, like Arizona, Philly 2 years ago, that play themselves into the World Series as a result, or play themselves further into the playoffs because they have 2 or 3 elite starters. And you can do that with Aaron Nola, Zach Wheeler. You can do that if you're Texas last year with, Max Scherzer. They didn't really have a healthy Jacob deGrom at any point. Max Scherzer was actually hurt up until the World Series, but that's beside the point. What I'm getting at is that baseball, it's a lot harder to just go all in with your chips and expect positive results. I mean, Atlanta was the 1 seed back-to-back years. They get eliminated in the first round back-to-back years and blame it on being rusty. Other teams are playing games and they're playing simulated games and try to figure it out. What I'm getting at is Texas is going to just punt the rest of the way. Corey Seager got put on the 15-day IL for no reason other than they announced, hey, he's going to have some maintenance days, and MLB didn't like it. So it's like, oh, by the way, he's also hurt. So He's hurt. You know what's actually going to happen? The Angels are going to come in here and probably win this baseball game because Bradford, you're not going to expect them to go crazy far into this. I doubt they're going to utilize a lot of their elite bullpen arms in anything other than high leverage situations. But anyway, Taylor Ward going up against a Bradford here. I think that this is at least pretty darn interesting. We're talking about Bradford giving up some serious power to righties, obviously the platoon for Ward. And Ward is smashing the ball in the air. And that's kind of the other thing with Bradford. Right around a 20-degree launch angle. So we're going to look at some homers. We're going to get better than plus 400 on Taylor Ward. I mean, it's like optimal hitting conditions. That game's about to start in like 5 minutes up in Anaheim. And here's the thing. That one, we got better than plus 400 on Taylor Ward. So I can only imagine what is going to happen here. And last up, I can't even believe that I'm about to put this on a card and think about this. Or again, it's just a lean for now. We got to check the price, but I've done a pretty good job of talking you through break-even prices. This has been a new addition. I started it a little bit at the tail end of last year, but really every single home run I've talked about on this program throughout the entire year. And the thing I spend the most time modeling is what that break-even number should be to try to give you good information the night before. And that's what's so hard about doing this program. And also what's going to be hard about saying goodbye to this program here to focus solely on NFL is I really enjoy the process of grinding and doing it, but it takes a lot of time and effort. And, you know, it's a lot easier for me to press some buttons and post it into a Discord, which you can sign up for down below. You know what? Let's just throw that up on the screen here quick, producer Jacob, shall we? Just if the people want to sign up and get my home runs, because I'm going to continue doing that throughout the entire rest of the year. Lindy 50% off your first week or month. $10 for your first week, $25 for your first month. It would be $20 a week and $50 a month after that. And I'm going to be covering NFL. I'm going to be covering NBA. I'm going to be covering PGA when it comes back around and there's some bettable prices once again. And then obviously the MLB streets. So yeah, you can check that out. But back to the picks. We're going to go back over here to this Detroit at San Diego game. And I brought it a lot this year. Detroit, San Diego. Petco's been playing small. Number 1 in baseball in home runs above expectation for individual players. You can go to the 3-year rolling sample size and you can see that was not the way that it used to play. That's for sure. Not the way it was. But we got Casey Mize. I don't think we're going to get a lot of bettable numbers. Maybe Jackson Merrill, who's now batting 7th. They get Fernando Tatis back. Profar has to continue to hit up in the 3-hole, which he should. His WRC plus is ridiculous. But Jackson Merrill's been a god, and he's batting 7th for the Padres. Kind of spells scariness if we can get a couple of these other starters, like a Martin Perez, potentially to just spike upside in October. It's kind of what I'm talking about. It's just so highly variant when you're talking about 5-game series and 7-game series in baseball relative to the NBA. For sure, relative to the NBA, where it's far more predictable. The better team's going to win a majority of the time. In baseball, lower variance outcomes. But I'm looking at Spencer Torkelson because I'm a man who apparently hates himself. And we're going to look at Spencer Torkelson to smash the baseball, apparently. But here are a couple of factors. 41.6% hard hit, 20.3 degree launch angle. Even when he wasn't hitting it well at the beginning of the year and striking out a bunch, he was barreling it up. And now he gets to take on a Martin Perez with a 491 expected slugging, a 9.2% barrel percentage, and the platoon. Whew, darling, plus 360 or better on Spencer Torkelson, and he'll end up on the card. Boy, do I like this one, and I can't believe I just said that out loud. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks in the MLB streets. Head to the comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays on the board for Thursday. I'm going to be breaking down the NFL Thursday night and Friday night, and then the week 1 for Sunday, and then Sunday night football, and then Monday night football. Check out all the NFL Lindy's coming your way. Going to be breaking that down in depth, starting with the Baltimore at Kansas City game for Thursday night football. Also, be on the lookout for a surprise program with myself and Lofty. You know him as Dave Locker and Lofty over here on the Odd Shopper channel. Have something fun in store for you guys there. But until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB streets on Thursday.